A late-night phone call from an emergency room doctor was a life-altering moment for Tab and Carol Teehee. Their son Alex was hospitalized with injuries so severe he would pass the next day. Initially, it appeared he was the victim of a hit and run, but soon after they realized that Alex was murdered.
In the middle of all this, we hear these threatening voicemails on his phone that were new voicemails he'd never got to hear, threatening to kill him. I mean, no, not beating around the bush, using those words.
While swirling between grief and disbelief, family members and investigators were able to piece together the events leading up to the moment that Alex was found clinging to life in the middle of a Charlotte Harbor neighborhood. It was clear that Alex was indeed a victim of a hit and run, but the injuries sustained were also from blunt force trauma, meaning he had been violently beaten and left for dead. Between the voicemail messages and the evidence collected, the family thought that justice would be swiftly served. However, all these years later, that still hasn't happened.
And if somebody threatens to kill you and leaves a message on your phone and then you're essentially dead a couple hours later, I think that's, it may not be cut and dried, but it's about as close to cut and dried as you can get.
Ralph Loosman was eventually arrested for vehicular homicide, but just days before the trial, the case was dropped when two key witnesses couldn't be found. And to this day, justice for Alex has yet to be served.
Alex's life was taken. Alex's sons, have lost their father. I've lost my son. And to this point, nobody's paying the price for doing that.
Alex, who was just 20 when he was killed, left behind two young sons who are now growing older and starting to ask questions. Through photos, memorials, and the constant sharing of memories, the family works hard to keep Alex as a daily part of their life.
I wish so much that I could say, Alex, I'm so proud of you and what you've done. It's amazing. And for somebody to, that had so much potential to be taken away, it's really sad. I mean, we had a whole life full of dreams that, were yet to be realized.
There's been an outpouring of support for the Teehee family, both online and even on the Dr. Phil show. But what they need most is for someone who can prove the guilt of the parties involved to step forward, if not for Alex and his sons, but for their own conscience.
Everybody's in a little bit better position to understand the loss that we've experienced and the loss that Caden and Eli have experienced. And so I think it's very possible.
Alex's family remains resolute in that no matter how long it takes, they are going to fight for justice, even establishing a website, www.justiceforalexteehee.
Truth is consistent, and the truth will continue indefinitely. Lies tend to be a little more inconsistent.
For Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers, I'm Trish Rout.